give it all away.
We're here live at Social Media Week 2018, and today all things fashion, social media influences will be discussed by Bella Naija Style. So join us as we go on this ride. This is HFA TV. I'm Oyebola Olubumi.
Zina, I'm going to ask you, how would you describe the relationship between influencers and brands in Nigeria?
So, the relationship between influencers and brands is actually improving over the years. So now brands now realize that it is important to have influencers on their side. Now, in fact, influencer-based agencies are now springing up because they realize that this is an important part. It's no longer only traditional media. Digital media is also very important. So I feel like the relationship is improving. However, it's still not there yet. Brands try to shortchange influencers a lot, and a lot of times, because influencers realize that they have the lower hand, they just go with the flow with what brands are doing. And I feel like as influencers, we need to all come together and put our foot down and let our feet. Is that English? Yeah, we need to put our feet down and let them know that it's not. We're not going to accept this anymore. But at the same time, I feel like influencers also need to understand that this is a growing industry, and they still do not understand the value we're giving them. So influencers need to do a better job of showcasing to the audience, that's the brands, that we know what we're doing and we're here to help you.
Right now I have with me the beautiful Taji, and she's going to be talking about fashion, of course, because she's an influencer. So right now I want to ask her, in her own words, what does she think fashion is?
I feel like fashion is what you make it, to be honest. So if you feel like you want to wear a trash bag and a trash bag looks cute on you and you feel like you can pull it off, then wear a trash bag. As long as you feel comfortable, you look good, you feel good. Normally, if you look like questionable, but you feel good, it resonates, like it shines through, and before you know it, people think you look good in that trash bag. And it might just be a dirty, dirty trash bag. Fashion is definitely what you make it.
Alright. Being an influencer, let's talk about your style now. What influences your style?
Ooh, what influences my style? Anything, to be honest. I feel like as long as I feel comfortable and I feel sexy, because sometimes you want to feel sexy. So as long as I feel comfortable, I feel sexy, I feel like myself, then that's just it, really. So, there are people that I look to in terms of what they're wearing because they're plus size or whatever. So like Ashley Graham, she takes some kind of risk that I'm just like, like I think earlier on last year, I probably wouldn't have taken certain risks in terms of clothing, but I saw Ashley Graham in a red dress where like her boobs were out. It was like bra cut something, and I was like, I can probably pull this off. So keep watching. I'm probably gonna do that this year.
She talked about, brands changing influencers. Would you say that's the biggest problem Nigerian influencers are facing?
Yes, definitely. It's definitely the biggest problem we're facing as influencers, because a lot of brands don't necessarily understand the influence concept, as I'm going to call it. So because of that, when they do get some idea of what it is, they feel like, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to give you things, you're going to wear it, you take a picture and you post. Okay, make sure you tag me, put something nice on this so everybody can come and buy. And you're just there like, yeah, no, that's not how it works, darling. Like, it's not that simple. Because if I post a rubbish picture, you can give me outfit and I post a rubbish picture, I stand in a dark room and I tag you, are you going to get customers from that? It's going to, the post you want me to do is going to have to come together and look presentable and look inviting and make people want to buy your product. So because of that, I feel like because they don't necessarily, especially in Nigeria, lots of brands don't understand the influencer market. So because of that, they shortchange us a lot. I have no incident was saying you saw me shaking my head because I've had some very interesting experiences with Nigerian brands in this country. And you just want to almost be like, you know, if I decide to call you out, it won't look good. But then you have to remind yourself that, you know, there's other brands that are watching and they might not like that you called out another brand because you might have agreed on a certain amount, even like contracts, you might have agreed on a certain amount in the contract and agreed on something, and then when they realize that you've gotten their brand to where they want it to be, they start to act all funny. So the agreements you had in the contract all of a sudden don't matter, then they start to try and play it down. It's really a crazy. Like Zina said, we really need to come together and put our foot down, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where if we don't come together and put our foot down, we're going to keep getting taken advantage of. I always feel like brands also need to learn what the influencer market is about, because that would also help you know how to handle and approach different brands. If you feel like a brand, before you approach a brand, you obviously feel like this brand is going to help you. So why is it that when brands now approach the influencer, they feel like, okay, this is beneficial to you too, not just me. But I think on my own, I was fine before you came around. Like, why do you think that now that you're going to come into my life's going to be better? You want this because it's going to benefit you. So let's both be happy, and then if we're doing it for whatever the amount of time, then let's do it for that long. Another thing I feel like that's why we now don't even contracts, so you don't do long contracts anymore. Because I feel like once the brand gets to a certain point, they start to act up. So you almost need to take a back seat and be like, wait, what? So I generally just don't do long contracts anymore. I do a contract and I tell you, okay, this is what's going to happen. If this works for you, then fine. If it doesn't work for you, then I'll just carry on with my life, really. Because I've experienced some crazy things and I haven't even been here that long. So, yeah, it's just, I know you want to say something.
So to add to what Taji and Rosina said, I want to say something. And what I want to say is, as an influencer, you have to protect your craft. You have to protect your person. You have to protect your dignity. Because quite a number of times, when I started style blogging, after a while, people will say, let's give you clothes, you wear, and you tag us. There is something called paying your dues. I paid my dues for a while. But after a while, look, I'm the kind of person that when I eat, my team has to eat. I can't keep calling Ayo from the mainland to come and take me pictures for free and just post it. Influencing is not a slay queen title. It takes a lot of dedication for you to build up your followership, and it takes a lot of credibility for a brand to look at you and single you out and say we want to work with you. So take it seriously. It's not a slay queen or slay king title. I gotta say, a lot of people who know zero about influencing and say brand influencer. And if I speak, they're like, why are you hating? It's not like I'm hating. I just want you to know knowledge is power. You understand? So it's not hating. So this is, there's something I also want to add. Do not let hunger make you shoot yourself on the feet and you now, prize yourself lesser. This year I said to my God, I said, God, if you're bringing brands to me, please bring the one that will pay me well. I am not ready to walk like an elephant and be eating like ants or job. So you need to be you open your eyes very well. Don't allow hunger. Someone sent me a message, a brand, and like, oh, we want to give you hair, and I told them my price. And the next thing she said, I can't be paying you because I'm giving you hair. Sister, if I want to buy hair, I'll work hard and buy wisdom. Now, I understand that human hairs are very expensive, no doubt. But I told her, I said, I understand that, but I'm taking a professional picture. Ayo is not wearing the hair, it's Ronke that is wearing the hair. Then, where will I get money for data that I'm posting like this? Where am I getting, am I not going to eat after drill like this, she gets in the hair. So a lot of people don't. And you see, as you can see, I'm angry. I'm very passionate about it because it's sometimes really frustrating. But I think you guys really understand what I'm trying to say. Don't get carried away. Let these people know that look, you have bills to pay. You are growing, and as you grow, so is your responsibility. So you have to take it seriously. Thank you.
Growing your followership, how did you deal with internet trolls? Because they're always there. They're always in each
Always.
page.
I just ignore them. So if I feel like you're being hurtful, not hurtful, hateful, because I just generally don't like to let trolls get to me, because more times than not, a troll is someone that wants to be you but can't, and is wondering why you're that person. You're able to be confident and look like that, and they can't do that. They can't seem to find that niche. So I generally just ignore them. But if I feel like they're being hateful and spiteful and it's just an ugly comment, or they're being ugly, I would just block you. Like, I don't have time. Delete comment, block person, move on. Like, there's no time keeping people like that around, because I feel like you will start to let unnecessary things get to you. Like, there was a girl that kept on coming on my page to say all kinds of things, and I kept leaving her. I would delete the comment and leave her there, but I realized that she kept coming back. So I was like, you know what, so block. There's no time for this. And then she must have sent her friend, because it was the exact same type of comment, block. And it's funny because when those type of comments come on, I almost don't even need to say anything. My I don't know if I should call them fans or my followers, just kind of attack, and I literally don't have to do anything. So shout out to my followers. Yeah, ignore them. There's really no need to let them have audience.
Okay, so for those who look up to you, will you influence? One word for them, just one word.
Acceptance. Accept yourself for exactly who you are. It's the beginning of self-love. Once you accept who you are, you start to love yourself. You believe everything about yourself, and people will start to hate on you because you love yourself. But just accept that this is what I am, this is who I am, and I love myself exactly as I am.
It all away.
How do you select brands you work with? I know we've all been talking about, how do you make yourself appealing to brands to work with? But as influencers, I feel like you also need to select who you work with. Apart from monetary side, how do you select brands that you work with?
Okay, so before I go there, there's something that she said that you have to highlight, because I'm assuming that we're talking to lots of people who are just starting off. So as much as yes, it's good to demand, you have to be realistic with yourself and understand that if you have only 200 followers, you're not going to demand a company to pay you. Do you understand what I mean? So you have to remember that sometimes you're at the beginning and you have to make sacrifices. Like when you want to work in the fashion industry, you have to intern, you have to learn. Sometimes you have to do it for free. The reality is sometimes you have to do it for free until you take yourself to a level where a brand wants to invest in you. That's the reality, because I don't want anybody to tell me that they have 1,000 followers and demanding what she's demanding. She has built her brand to a point where she can say, I deserve this amount. So don't try and claim that, oh, you want to ask for. Because if I was a brand, I would not invest in you, and I would say this person doesn't know what they're doing. So back to what you said. In terms of selecting brands, what I would say is your values are very important. Your ideas are very important. Who you are as a person is very important. And I feel like what you have to bring to the table and the value that you add to the brand is very much important in the decisions that you make. Because I feel like if, for example, if I'm a designer, I work in fashion, and I'm dressing up, and someone who maybe is into culinary activities, maybe wants to cook or wants to do food, I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm going to bring to the table, I don't know what I'm going to add to you. So for me, it wouldn't work for me as a brand. So sometimes you have to say no because it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for who you are. And what you'll be able to do will not be enough. And it will, in essence, it will taint your name, because if you're going to bring something that's not beneficial to the brand, that brand will tell another brand, and that name will just, be tarnished. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what can I really do for this person? Do I really have the resources to bring something valuable to this brand? And then align yourself with it. And also, if you're someone who has specific values, for example, if maybe you're religious and you know that you're into modest fashion, and the brand is giving you, and you know this brand is about maybe cleavage and it's a swimwear brand, don't collect it just because it's free clothes. You know that brand doesn't work for you. Say no and understand that that's not the brand that works for you. So you have to make very calculated decisions. You have to be very intelligent. Even when you're starting off, just align yourself with brands that work for who you are and work for the future you're trying to build for yourself.
Thank you so much, Maya. I think you raised a very important point, saying that you don't oversell yourself sometimes. You have to be considerate and think of the value that you're going to bring to a brand. That brings us to our next question. Kende, I know you've worked with a lot of international brands, and you're not a newbie to influencer marketing. Would you say it's possible to over monetize your content? Because I know as an influencer, your market is your audience, basically. So you need to keep them engaged, you need to keep them loving your content, but if they keep saying in partnership with, sponsored by, do you think it's ever possible to over monetize your content?
I do believe it is possible to over monetize your content. Whenever I work with brands, I hate it when they tell me that I have to actually put the word ad or sponsor, because I get less likes when I do that. And when your followers come on your page, they don't want to come on your page to see ads.
So guys, I have with me the beautiful Kende, one of the panelists. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I like it. Thanks. Yeah, this should be like the opt-in time I'm saying it. All right, a very quick one. How would you describe fashion in your own words?
For me, I feel like fashion is what you buy and style is what you make of it. So whatever you wear, it has to be about you. It shouldn't be about what the next person is wearing or what's trending. It has to just pretty much modify you. So, yeah.
Okay. So being an influencer, I know it took a while. It was a gradual process. So how did you deal with internet trolls? Because they've always been there.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of grew pretty quick. I just started last year, and I just rapidly grew because of the content that I was posting. But when you say trolls, I mean, I think I've learned how to just ignore. And my mom, like, I used to be the one I used to be that person who would like respond all the time, but now I have to realize that, many people are actually looking at me and they're reading what we're actually saying. And, sometimes, there are things that are online that people can say that's quite hurtful. But thank God for the block and delete button. That's what I do for those type of people.
Okay. So for those who look up to you, what would be your advice to them?
Follow your dreams, don't follow Kende. I expect for them to, I hope that they can actually come on my page or they follow me and they pick up confidence and how to pretty much love and appreciate themselves and their skin. But for them, I would just pretty much just say, do what you love to do, love the skin that you're in, and just, be happy with that. So.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you.
Thank you for having me.
What tricks and tools have helped you grow your following? Photo editing app, what are those things that you've done that other people might not be doing that distinguishes your page, your posts, your videos from other things that make you an influencer?
Brands want you to be, they want you to be a brand ambassador, but at the same time want you to be an influencer. When I say they want you to be a brand ambassador, they like what you're associated with. So you're associated, for example, I worked with Samsung, Coca-Cola, MTV, the likes, multinational companies, right? They like that but at the same time they want to shortchange you because they try to say that, oh well, you're a brand ambassador, but you know, we just want your influence. But you can't pay for one without the other, because the question you asked me about editing and all these things, as Ronke said, it costs money and it takes time, a lot of time. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I want people to know that it's not overnight. Nothing like this is overnight. Maybe you heard somebody with a hit song last week. The person has probably been doing songs for a while. Maybe 3 years, 4 years, they've been at it. It's not that, there are Instagram sensations, but even those people, even I'm sure Bob Risky was somewhere and doing something to someone. You know what I mean? They're around trying to do things. They're not just appearing on Instagram one day, hello, no. So, there's photo editing, yes, but I don't really use photo editing because I work more with lighting. Although we are in a city where pollution has disturbed our nice blue sky, I do try and find it. I do try and take pictures when it's daylight, when the sun has just set, or you know, when it's still bright outside. There's no point taking a picture and then you know that the quality is bad, and then you now say, oh, I'm going to edit it. It's still going to come out fuzzy or blurry, and you probably won't get as much likes as your last post. And it just doesn't make sense. Guys, you don't need to be desperate about this thing. It's not by force. There's tomorrow. What I learned, I think I learned this a couple years ago, maybe a year or two ago, is that you do not need to post every day. Especially if the content is not worthy. Your followers will get bored and your brand will also be reduced because you just wanted to post, because you feel like nobody is paying attention to you. Instagram is not a place for validation. They do not validate you in any way. It's just, it's a hobby or it's business, but you cannot seek validation from people you do not know. Would you go around on the street asking people, hey, how do I look today? No. So you can't use it as a tool for validation, because I think mentally it really messes people up. It messes us up and it makes us feel like we are not worthy. But guess what? You are. You do not have to over-edit. There are things that you can do to make sure your content is crisp and clean. Invest in people. Nigeria is one of the countries where there are so many talented individuals who are underutilized. There are photographers, we have stylists, we have makeup artists, more than other countries have, but yet we all want to backstab each other. We don't want to pay. We want to say, oh, what's that thing they used to say all the time? Oh, it's exposure. Exposure is for when you're just starting out. You don't have 10,000 followers and tell someone, oh, it's for exposure. How dare you tell a photographer, oh, it's for exposure? The guy has bought camera. He's going to pay for lights. He's going to pay for editing. He's going to run his gen. Then you're there thinking, I want to do exposure. No, it's not about that unless you're still, you know, at a certain level, like Bayo said. But take pride in what you're posting, because companies are watching you and they're listening. Treat your page as if it has 5 senses. People are seeing things. It's not somewhere where you can trick people. It's very obvious what you're doing. So you have to be intentional and observe. Observe what you're posting. It's very key. I had a high-end brand look at my page and look at other people, actresses, people that have millions of followers, but they chose to use me because they said that my page fit with their brand. And it's because I paid attention. You have to pay attention. You guys, you can't expect brands to pay you money and you're not even paying attention. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, so I would just say, don't over-edit your pictures, because that itself is already contrived. Just focus on getting the right tools. Get the people around you that can actually help you grow, and always appreciate the people that work with you. Always appreciate with them. Sorry.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all so much.
Hi guys, so I have with me the beautiful Stephanie Aderinoku. Yeah. Or Stephanie Coca Aderinoku. She's looking so dazzling, beautiful.
Thank you. I love your hair.
I like your style, everything, you know. Okay, she's really fashion inclined. So right now I'll be asking you, what inspires your fashion?
I think myself, my personality. I love shapes. I love structure. See, like even this, like it has shapes. I love to just like feel. First of all, I like being comfortable a lot. So I don't really like clothes that are gonna make me feel like, you know, they're like tight clothes. I'm not a fan of tight clothes. I like I would describe my style as athleisure. Yes, so like athletic kind of wear, like sportswear, but fashionable, chic, and classy.
So, growing up your followers, how were you able to deal with internet trolls? Because they're always there, you know.
Okay, so when it comes to internet trolls, I actually don't feed off of negativity. I don't reply negativity, so I personally don't know that it exists because I don't read comments that much, actually. I don't give life to comments, should I say, because I see comments, but I don't really give life to it.
Okay. So if we were to differentiate between Stephanie Coker, the corporate body, a brand, and Stephanie Coker, myself, a personal person, how would we differentiate that?
Stephanie Coker, the brand, is very ambitious, very persistent, very strong actually. Didn't know how strong she was. And I would say Steph, the one that everybody at home knows, like my family, they would probably say that I'm a happy person. I'm just very lively, jovial, and energetic and adventurous. But Stephanie Coker, the brand, is very business savvy.
Business savvy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one word for those that are looking up to you rather.
In the world of presenting?
Exactly.
Oh, well, I would tell people to be persistent and continue to believe in your craft. Invest in your craft is very important. If you want to do this, make sure you actually train yourself. If you can't afford to go for training or there aren't any classes available, train yourself. Practice on people, practice on your friends, your family, get better every day. Use platforms like YouTube that are available to you. Talk to people, network, because that's what this industry is really about. And yeah, don't lose focus. And if you're a religious person, I would say really keep God first as well.
It all away.
Guys, it's been a nice time here at the Social Media Week 2018. We've learned about several things, from fashion to growing your followership, to how to be consistent with what you do with your craft. Remember, you need to keep watching HSP TV. My name is Oyebola Olubumi.